So let's talk about reactive versus responsive today. Welcome back to my channel, Unapologetically Loving Myself. My name is Annemarie. So this channel is here to help support, validate, encourage, to help women rebuild and recover from narcissistic and toxic relationships. So if you can relate to any of this, welcome. If you don't, please scroll on. So let's firstly look at being reactive, our reactions. It's when you're triggered, when you're offended or hurt or upset and you can't control yourself and you become easily derailed by others, especially if someone wants to control you. Reaction is where I have no power. The second I react, I give away my power to the person or situation in front of me. And I become the puppet of my surroundings, where everyone and everything is pulling my strings and they're pulling me in different directions, and I have no control. I have no say at that point. At the end of the narcissistic relationship that I was in for 23 years, I completely lost my inner power and I completely lost my power to respond. I became incredibly reactive and anxious, which I was never like before. And I really didn't like myself anymore. I didn't even know myself anymore. Thank goodness I'm not like that now. I've done a lot of healing so that I could return to my authentic self. So responsive, it's when I'm able to regulate my emotions. Excuse me. I'm able to observe, think through, process it, regulate my emotions, and then respond. So I can own my response. It's something that narcissists can't or won't do because they would much prefer to regulate through your reactions. Can you see how that's how they want to control you? Because they don't want to do the work and work through their own emotions. It's much easier to poke your wounds, your old wounds, because that's why we have these reactions, because it's something unhealed in me. And just because you wouldn't do it to someone else, you wouldn't deliberately poke someone else's wounds, you wouldn't deliberately upset them or say something that you know would upset them, which is the complete opposite to narcissists. They will deliberately say those things or do those things to get that reaction from you rather than be accountable for their own behavior. It's pretty cruel, but the world is filled with them, and so we need to protect ourselves, not by putting up walls and wearing armor, because my response is my armor. The more I learn to turn inward and regulate myself, the easier I'm able to defend myself or deflect these attacks. Because narcissistic behavior, and it's on the rise, it's everywhere, is designed to always keep you on the hop. Okay, in a never-ending loop of catch-up, which you never ever catch up. They're always changing the goalposts and you're always left wondering. They keep you confused, destabilized, and chasing illusions. It's like a cat chasing that laser light. Narcissists will keep you chasing that, and it will entertain them. Just like those playing with a cat, they find it entertaining. But it's not real. Their empty promises, their future faking is not real. It's just that, it's empty. It's fake. So you need to move on somehow. or risk becoming more and more reactive, lose more and more power, because you'll have no power left and you'll play right into their hands. And then they will have no problems in discarding you and toss you out with the rubbish. Very painful, very cruel. So you need to stop listening to people's sorry, but start watching what they do. They probably are sorry for hurting you, or maybe they're just sorry for being caught out or being called out. But they'll forget the second that they get away with it. And so when will you learn your lesson? Will you listen? Will you learn your lesson? How many sorries before enough is enough? When you're still strong, or when you have nothing left? Don't be like me and give them 23 years of second chances. That's beyond loyalty, and that's totally trapped in cognitive dissonance and the trauma bond. So, and remember, you're the one that has to clean up the mess. You're the one that has to pick up the pieces. You're the one that's left empty of self-love, devoid of trust, and filled with pain and trauma and anger and resentment that you have to heal. So, as Alfred Adler says, resentment is rocket fuel for rumination. And rumination is repetitive negative thinking. And when you are in this loop with someone who has narcissistic tendencies, you can't help but, as much as you try and think positive, because they keep pulling you back into that loop over and over and over, you're constantly left to wonder why, what is going on? I don't understand. What am I doing? Why is it always my fault? I'm not doing enough. Why can't I get this right? Why can't I fix this? And rumination is linked to anxiety, depression, and impaired problem solving. Resentment doesn't create closure. It just deepens the wounds. So learn to let go and let God as much as you can, and start healing yourself today. Stop being that cat chasing that light. Love yourself enough to know when enough is enough. Start responding and stop reacting. Stop giving away your power. And you will start seeing glimpses of your authentic self again that has been buried in all that manipulative behavior designed to make you lose your mind, to make you feel like you're going crazy, just so they can get what they want. It's like a child in a tantrum, except they're adults, which makes it 1,000 times worse. So stop giving them your energy by fighting with them for your principles and for your basic human rights, because you will lose every time. So instead, live up to your principles and human rights. Live truth. Be that example and get some peace. You deserve at least that. So I'm going to keep it very short today. I hope you got a little bit of benefit. Until next time, lots of love and bye for now.